Cue the cheesy podcast music.
Welcome to MegaFest, where we don't just manifest, we MegaFest. I'm your host, Megs Malloy. I'm creating a community of silly and soulful working moms who are mostly happy, but know they're capable of more. More self-love, more self-esteem, more self-trust, more calm, joy, natural highs, more magic in the world, and more laughter. Each week, me and my guests will bring you tips and tricks on how to make the most of your one precious life. And we're going to make them effective and efficient because ain't nobody got time for that. I believe in you. I see the light in you. I want you to shine your light. I want you to become all that you're capable of. So let's hang out. Let's MegaFest together. Welcome to episode 33. Oh my gosh. This episode is being recorded at the beginning of June. And as you probably know, the end of May, beginning of June, mid-June, we go through a lot of graduations, and it's the end of the school year, and it really is a time of reflection. Oh, word of the day, reflection. And it is with these culminations, these peaks of our journey that give us an opportunity to reflect on how far we've come, how we've changed, and how we want to move forward. Reflection is really an interesting word because the first definition of the noun reflection is the throwing back by a body or surface of light, heat, or sound without absorbing it. But then conversely, if we are reflecting back on something, it's almost like we are absorbing it. And really, the definition is serious thought or consideration. And it's this sort of dichotomy of when you think about seeing your own reflection and you think about looking at yourself, looking into your own eyes, like making eye contact with yourself in the mirror. This is one of the most trippy things you can do. Really, I used to, when I was getting high, I would just like be afraid to make eye contact with myself in the mirror because it was like, whoa, I see you. Oh my goodness. And to be able to see ourselves and see how far we really have come within a year or whatever length of time that we are looking at. And then look at how we are in this moment, in this time of our lives. Like, who are we now? And then how are we going to grow in the future? And it's all just so wonderful and could be kind of hard at times to look at the challenges that we've faced. But at the end of the day, every day you have survived the hardest day of your life, and you will continue to. And there's so many more great, awesome growing days ahead of us too. So I always just feel very verklempt around this time of year. You know, the saying goodbyes, the new beginnings. It's just all, it can be a lot. So today in this episode, I'm just going to reflect on reflection. That's a double because I just used the word of the day twice. Today, this morning, I was at my nephew's graduation. And actually, they call it a culmination, not a graduation. But, you know, there's the ceremony. It's only an hour and a half long. Thank goodness. These graduations can be so long, can't they? Sitting there at his graduation and listening to the speakers, some of the teachers, the administrators. You know, one of the teachers was retiring, so it's sort of like a culmination of her career that she has spent at that one school. And the teachers talking about how they saw their students grow throughout the year and just the fun that they've gotten to have together, thinking about how these teachers spend so much time with these kids And they really are so formative. I mean, I know that we can reflect on our childhood and think about those teachers who really made a difference in our lives. And what a gift that is. And it was funny because a lot of the kids just love the principal at this school. They were calling him, they said that they should put on his business card, like greatest of all time principal, or like Dr. Awesome, or, all these different things. And it was so great to see. And he even had a special handshake with some of the kids. In his speech, he talked about leaving the students with 4 pieces of advice. And the first one was, try hard in school because you're not going to get that time back and you don't want to have any regrets. And so, everyone, I'm thinking to myself, well, I skated by and that was fine. I have no regrets about that. But I was lucky because I got A's and B's. So at times I do wish I had applied myself more, but you know what? I'm okay with it. And then the piece of advice was, be careful about the friends you choose. And all the family members in the audience were like, yeah. And I fully believe in this piece of advice. I had a Toastmaster friend who used to say, you can run with the turkeys or you can fly with the eagles. And it is all about who you choose to hang out with. And that is so true. And I thought that was great advice. And the third one was, treat others as you want to be treated. Which, of course, the golden rule, I fully believe in this, but not a big reaction from the crowd. And then his fourth point was, it's always cool to be friends with your parents. They want to be part of your lives. So keep telling them what happened at school. Tell them how you're feeling. Tell them what's going on with you. Even if your friends tell you, oh man, what are you doing? You're talking to your mom. But it's like, no. Don't listen to your friends. It's always cool to be friends with your parents. And of course the crowd went wild because everybody loves that. And as we are older, of course, you go through your teen years and you want nothing to do with your parents and you think you know what's best. But, as you get older, you tend to come back and you can reflect on their choices and how they just wanted the best for you. That just makes me verklempt. It just makes me want to cry because it's so true that we do want the best for our kids. And here they are growing up so fast. And I'm sitting in the stands watching this culmination of my nephew. And in my lap is my 5-year-old who is going to be having his own graduation from preschool. In this moment, pressing all buttons at the same time. I'm pressing rewind and just seeing how fast it goes and just knowing that, 3 years ago when we started the pandemic and he was just like a little baby, he was still in diapers, he still had a bottle. When you're in that preschool phase, it feels like it's never going to end. But in 2 days, it is ending. And he'll never go back to his preschool. And at the same time, he's so big. He's a big 5-year-old now who can draw things that he imagines. And he has a fully formed personality. And, can do so many things like climb and jump and run. But he's still so little, and he can sit in my lap, and I can snuggle him, and he still says, I love you, Mommy, pressing play, and just seeing how in this moment, it's like the past and the future are all like there, and being reflected back, trying to be present for him on this day that he is 5 years old and he's wanted to get a snack on the way out of the culmination to the way of the car, and he picked a black and white cookie and he picked a pirate's booty, and then we're like walking back to the car, and he's like shuffling through this parking strip that just has little rocks, and he's like pointing out bugs, and he's just such a special little guy. And thinking about how quickly it's gonna go by, that he's gonna be graduating from 5th grade, and then we're gonna be done with elementary school. Oh my gosh, it hurts to talk because I have such a lump in my throat. So if you are the sentimental sort, just like me, where endings and new beginnings and reflection really make you feel all the feels, then I invite you to join me in the Slow Down Time summer cohort that we're starting in just a few weeks, because life is for living. Life is so short. It's so precious. It's so precious. And we don't want to miss a single moment of all of these glimmers and these juicy moments, that this is what life is about. Yes, accomplishments, but yes, just learning to be content and to relish and be joyful in just these everyday moments. And that's what we're going to learn. We're going to learn to calm ourselves when we feel like we want to fast forward and we're just done with this day and this stage in our child's life. And we're going to learn to press play where we can be playful and in the moment with our children. We're going to learn to press pause and just fully soak in the moment and savor it. And then we're going to learn to rewind, where we have a daily reflection of just the collecting of anything else that we might have missed that is so worth enjoying. And we can also intentionally capture these moments and save them for the future. Because oh, how we love to look back at our pictures and our videos. Whew. Deep breaths, Megs. So thank you for being on this little tearful and joyous reflection today with me. I hope for you, as we are changing seasons, as we come out of spring and into summer, you are just seeing how far you've come and really fully appreciating who you are now and making inspired plans to reach your full potential and just challenge yourself so you can see how you will grow. Because we don't just want to manifest a life we love, we want to mega-fest.